Hi, and welcome to Dog Talk TV with your host, Tony V. Thank you for tuning into our channel. Hopefully you've watched all our other episodes and you're up to date on our theories and philosophies. But just to recount, our purpose here is to not train your dog, but train you as the owner and handler of your dog. So many times our dogs end up in shelters because of reasons that may not be the dog's fault, but they pay the ultimate price. And unfortunately, bad things happen when they go to the pound or sometimes a shelter. So we're going to talk about that today. So let's start with a situation. So your dog is in your backyard, and all of a sudden the dog jumps the fence and is in a neighbor's backyard and bites a small child. Who's responsible? Let me ask you another question. Your dog is in your home and you have some visitors over, and all of a sudden your dog bites someone. Who's responsible? Let's get a little more complicated. You're walking your dog down the street or the sidewalk, and you encounter another dog owner or another dog, and your dog gets in a fight, gets in a brawl, bites someone. Who's responsible? Let's say you're walking your dog down the street again, and some kids ride by on their bicycles, and your dog jumps out in front of them and either gets hit by the bicycle or bites one of the kids. Who's responsible? Or let's say that you take your dog to one of the pet food stores where it's pretty crowded. This is a good time to get your dog socialized, to be around other people and other animals and new smells and odd things and things like that. But let's say you're in one of those pet food stores, and a small child runs up behind your dog, and your dog turns and nips at the kid or bites the kid. Who's responsible? So I think you probably know the answer to all these questions is you are. You as the dog's owner and handler are responsible for your dog regardless of what the situation is. So what we do is we practice a lot of leash control, and we use a fixed leash. We don't use the retractable leashes. But this comes into how to handle your dog and how to control your dog's behavior. Why is this important? You got to remember, dogs are predators and dogs are carnivores, and dogs will do what comes naturally to them. They will defend themselves. They will react in an aggressive manner when they think that the situation calls for that, even though we as humans may think it does not. I know a story of someone who took their dog to the pet store, and the dog was sitting there. It was actually in a sit position, very calm, and a couple of young kids come up running behind the dog, and one of them hit it on the head, and the dog turned around and took a nip at it. Didn't bite him, but took a nip at it. Who's responsible? Well, you as the dog owner are. And this, what happens next once a dog bites someone? Well, some bad things happen. First of all, your dog gets a record of having a dog bite, and now you have to, as the owner, be legally responsible for that. And so a lot of people will just take their dogs and turn them over to a shelter when there's really nothing wrong with the dog, because the dog did what comes naturally to them. So that's what I want to focus on today, is talking about you, the owner, are responsible for your dog in any and every situation. If you're driving your car down the street and your dog is with you, you're responsible for the safety of that dog. In your house, when the mailman comes or the UPS man, we all know how dogs love UPS trucks. They will react to that, and they're doing what is natural to them, but it may be unacceptable for us. So we as humans must be responsible for that. So the last thing we want to do is have a dog get a bite record or nip at someone and then get turned over to a shelter. So our main purpose here at Dog Talk TV is to help you, the owner, keep your dog in your heart and not in that shelter or pound because of these reasons. So we, again, what we've taught in the first couple of episodes is the human nature theory. So you as the human must be a little bit smarter and make better decisions about how you handle your dog, because the last thing we want to do is to have to put that dog in a shelter. Dogs will do things that come unexpected to us as humans. I know another story of a lady that took her dog walking with another neighbor lady, walking through the neighborhood one early morning, and as they were walking, a little bunny rabbit jumped out from behind a bush and took off running. Well, what did the dog do? The dog did what comes naturally to it, and it took off running for it. And it ended up pulling the lady down and hurting her. So the point here is that we want to think about things in advance before they occur. And we're going to talk about that in our next episode. But for now, again, let's focus on the fact that you, the dog owner, are responsible for your dog. And please, please, please look out for your dog. Take responsibility for your dog. And don't do things that jeopardize your dog being put in a situation where its natural instincts will cause it to have a situation that then leads to the dog having to be surrendered to the Humane Society, the Animal Control, a shelter, or a pound. That's the last thing we want to do. So in our next episode, we're going to talk about what to expect. So for right now, again, this is Tony V saying thank you for watching our channel, because we want to keep dogs in your heart and not in the pound or shelter. So until next episode, we'll see you and have a doggone good day.